You're on the journey home, and what a great evening we're having here in the Upper Rio Grande Valley. And we want to thank a few people who called in. I don't have your names just yet, but I'll be giving you a shout out in just a couple of minutes. And I'm not sure if we have any more copies of Technology's Promise, but you can always give us a call and find out. Fascinating conversation with one of the leading forecasters on the planet. And we continue to try to bring you information that you can use, not just in your daily life, but in your more strategic planning. Now, to balance that out, to balance out the macro and the global and the national, we also like to go local and regional. And joining us here in the studio, Vicki Pozobon, the Executive Director of the Santa Fe Alliance. Vicki, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. How are you?
Thanks for being here. It's always good to be here with you, Diego.
Yeah, and you're becoming a regular on the show, which is really great because it's all about connecting and cooperating. And I can also say that about Drew Tulchin here, who's the Managing Partner for Social Enterprise Associates. Drew, welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, as always.
So let's do a little broad stroke view of what's going on, new and good in our local area that is going to lead toward the development of our new local, more sustainable economy. There's been some recent developments, and you're going to be adding some more onto that. And, and in the meantime, too, we invite our listeners to call in at 428-1393 if you're a member of the Alliance and you'd like to support one of the Alliance members, which is KSFR. But now is the time to do that.
It's a great time to do that.
428-1393 is that number to call. So, Vicki, what's happening?
Well, as you said, we are always connecting the global to the local, and I think it's the most important time to be doing that. And one of the things that we've been working on for the last 9 or 10 months, actually, is our local food and renewable energy economy, and that's the biggest thing that we've been moving forward. Of course, we've received some funding from the USDA to really bring that together to the local restaurant and food economy here, so we'll be working on that in the coming months. And then lots of other pieces to connect to, and how our local businesses who are already in operation or folks who are interested in getting started and off the ground might be interested in forming some new and interesting business models that Drew will talk to us about. So we're always trying to bring new and innovative ideas to Santa Fe and also connect the people that are already here doing those types of fun and interesting things in our local economy already.
And Santa Fe is such a wonderful place, too, because we are, as a world-class destination, we tend to attract conferences of people. IFOM, the International Federation of Organic Agricultural People, were here like a month ago, and then the Slow Money Conference was just here like a week or two ago.
Sure.
And, put that together with all the local folks like you and Drew, who are working to knit the community together, and we have something very special going on here.
We really do. It's true. I think the Slow Money Conference especially, I was there for both days and 2 evenings of the events, and it was really a fantastic opportunity to connect with some national folks, international folks. We had guests from Australia, from Europe who were here, and just an opportunity to really bring it all home, essentially, and show off what we do really well here in Santa Fe. So that was really exciting. Drew, you were there, too, for a little while.
Yeah, I did. The Slow Money, I was very pleased on it, but I really like the way you cue this up, Diego, which I always give you great credit for, and another good reason to like KSFR and to make your pledge now.
All right.
But thank you. Shameless plug. But I really do believe when we think about the macro, as your previous segment and Jim Hightower made clear, and then we think about our local community, Santa Fe really is a unique and world-class place, but yet there's so many statistics, both in terms of business and social activities, where we're lagging. Yes, Santa Fe may be a little bit higher than New Mexico, but when I first came here to New Mexico and people said, well, at least we're not Mississippi, talking about education, talking about community participation, talking about public money. And I really think we need to think about how we can create solutions for ourselves, because we've seen that relying on government and relying on large corporations is not going to bring our solutions. And Santa Fe is very well placed to do that because so many of us are involved in both the local economy and in small businesses. And so when Vicki and her colleague Beverly at the Santa Fe Alliance approached me, I was very interested in doing the workshop that we're doing tomorrow, which is at the Santa Fe complex from 6 to 8 p.m. And then we'll also have another event in October, which Vicki can talk about a little later on. And we need to work together, and we need the tools and the mechanisms to be able to be successful in creating our local economy.
We're talking to Vicki Bosabon from the Santa Fe Alliance and Drew Tulchin, managing partner from Social Enterprise Associates, today on the Journey Home. And I'd like to invite you to make your pledge right now as we connect the dots of caring that make our community so special, with KSFR providing an essential community service and giving you the kind of information and access to great ideas, both local to global. It takes money and time to put all this together. So it's as simple as making a phone call right now. And what a lot of people are doing, because people are feeling the pinch a bit, and what people are doing is they're calling up and they're pledging $5 a month, and you can hardly even notice that. In your budget, $5 a month. Come on, but
that's a cup of chai.
But $60 a year
right.
is big for us.
Yeah.
Over we have a bunch of people doing $5 a month, and we can keep the radio station here going good. So just give us a call and make a small pledge if you need to, which is fine. 428-1393 is that number to call. But it can be just a few dollars a month, and it's all safe and sound. We never give your name away to anybody. We will say your first name on the air unless you tell us not to thank you. But it's all safe and secure. You can trust us on that. Now, looking at some of the exciting developments that are happening here locally in terms of new structures, the type of work that the Alliance has been doing to create a sort of a larger body through which businesses can link together and expand is one thing too. But looking to what Drew's doing as well with the concept of social enterprises, it's not just a for-profit company with the one bottom line driving the thing, nor is it a charitable action either, for which nobody gets paid and you do it as a volunteer. There's some very interesting hybrid choices coming forward now. Tell us about some of those and what you're going to be covering in this workshop tomorrow.
Okay, well, I want to tell you a little bit because I want to make sure people show up at the workshop. But there's a lot of great things, and KSFR, as you mentioned before, is a great example of a social business. We're talking about an entity. KSFR is a nonprofit, but we're talking about an entity that needs capital to work and isn't going to just get a grant. It's not going to get government money. It's going to offer a number of different services for which people in the community are going to value those services. And I think, Diego, I don't want to give you too big a head, but you're a service. You're creating local news. You're helping people get the word out. And KSFR not being way down on the left hand of the dial, being in the middle of the dial of the radio, and being easily found and being a real community value is an example of those social businesses. What that means is that we're looking at other ways to go about doing the activities of the day that can sell products, but that could also create social, community, and environmental value. And there's an intersection, there's a Venn diagram overlap with these circles of business, of social, of community, and environment. And at that nexus, there are a number of entities, and I can go into examples in those in just a little bit.
Well, we'll get to some of those, and I want to see, some of these ideas are new to me, not conceptually, but it seems like the legal system is finally starting to catch up to what people and communities have needed for a long, long time. So how is the Alliance doing, Vicki, in terms of the membership? I know it's been a struggle for a lot of companies during the economic downturn. Are things turning around yet? Do we see that yet?
Well, it's interesting because I think we're seeing some businesses that are really concerned about not going away in this type of economy. They're doing everything that they possibly can to reinvent themselves, to tighten themselves up, to find their real niche, and to move forward. And then we have some businesses that are talking to us about what can they do next and what's the next way that they should be moving. So that's exciting for us. Our membership is pretty strong. We're hovering in this economy close to 500 members. So that's good for us.
That is actually really good.
Yeah, we tend to lose about 100 businesses a year just based on economics and, basic folks who go out of business or they're not interested anymore or whatever. But, we hold strong at about 500, and that includes nonprofits. We have about 75 nonprofits in our membership who really do, because of the social aspect of what we do, are really connected to who we are as a business organization as well in the community.
And looking toward the where you've been putting your energy in food and local fuel production, that seems to me to be a pretty important basis to begin with, because these are things that we all need. How's that process going, bringing more cooperative ventures together in those two sectors?
It's really going well because we're working with a number of nonprofits who are already working on those issues. So we're not reinventing a wheel. We're pulling together partners who are the experts, and we're the experts in local economy, and then we have folks who are the experts in distribution and food safety and all those areas, and bringing in the renewable energy experts too. So that has been a model that is being looked at around the country as well. So we're very lucky to be shining a spotlight on the good things that we do here. But it's attracting a lot of restaurants and chefs that are really interested in how they can partner with farmers and how they can set up those relationships. Farmers who are not necessarily connected to the food economy here in Santa Fe who want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to facilitate those discussions and hopefully generate some relationships for them. So it's a way to sustain the restaurants and the farmers all at the same time.
Vicki Pozzebon, a very positive message there on our local economy, too.
Well, it's always important to keep it positive, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but it feels to me that it is starting to shift around. But it kind of flows with the consciousness of the people, too. I mean, we create our reality in one sense by thinking ourselves into a more positive state and then looking for solutions that are going to get us there as well, rather than just, throwing up our hands and shouting. But that's fun, too. But anyway, Drew, looking at some of the new models for companies out there, what about the low-profit sort of limited company system? Now, is that a recent arrival in terms of an official designation by the IRS, or is this something that I've just overlooked all these years?
No, it is new, and in fact, the final chapters, or even the second chapter, haven't even been written. So there's something called an L3C, which is this low-profit, non-profit, for-profit. And I'll try to describe what that is. It's the idea that you can have a business, so an actual corporate entity, but have it, when it generates profit, have those profits only be used to foster itself or to further social good. And there is a concept of patient capital or slow money, or where there is a need to have investment, but which wouldn't necessarily garner the attention of investors, venture capitalists, and people who are looking for a certain risk profile. And by that I mean if it might be risky, then they want more return for it. So there is a number of community efforts, for example, affordable housing, which can be profitable, can generate a return, both for government investment as well as investors, but may be lower than real investment.
Drew Tulchin, we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the upcoming workshop. That's tomorrow from 6 to 8 at the Santa Fe Complex on B corporations and L3C and stock options for charities. Social Enterprise Associates is the group that Drew is with, and we're here with Vicki Pozzebon from the Santa Fe Alliance. And I'd like to thank Melissa McDonald for calling in with a generous contribution. She says she really likes Diego's Sustainable Tuesday shows. So, Melissa, you're calling in at the right time. Thank you so much. And she also loves the Alliance. And another one from Mr. Anon. He loves everything, including Amy Goodman, Diego, and all the cool, groovy music shows. Listens almost exclusively to KSFR. I actually don't know the gender of Mr. or Ms. Anon, but I do know the family, and they're one of our strongest supporters. We'll be back in just about 90 seconds after a short break. Call us now, 428-1393, 428-1393. 5 minutes left of Sustainable Tuesday. Make your voice heard and make your Tuesday sustainable. 428-1393. Give us a call right now.
Hello, this is Tom O'Connor, Music Director of Santa Fe Pro Musica. I'm guessing that among the pieces you love, Bach's Brandenburg Concertos are close to the top of the list, and for good reason. The infectious energy, the unforgettable themes, and the breathtaking virtuosity combine in 6 unique concertos. Santa Fe Pro Musica is proud to present Bach's complete Brandenburg Concertos on Saturday, October the 3rd at 6 p.m. and Sunday, October the 4th at 3 p.m. in St. Francis Auditorium. Tickets are available by calling Pro Musica at 988-4640. We're opening our new season in St. Francis Auditorium with the Brandenburg Concertos. If you'd like to know more about them, join me for Meet the Music 1 hour before each concert. And you can see our new season online at santafepromusica.com. ProMusica is a tax-exempt organization.
KSFR programming is supported by New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit financial cooperative serving its members for 73 years. More information at nmefcu.org.
It's Sustainable Tuesday on the Journey Home. The only thing is, it's actually Monday, isn't it? It just seems like, because today's show is on sustainability, with both you folks in here at the local level and then our previous guest covering the macro. But Drew, tell us a little bit more about how these L3Cs work and what kind of companies or what kind of social enterprises are good candidates for them.
Yeah, so just to be clear, L3C is not an actual legal entity in the United States.
Okay.
There's only legislation in the state of Illinois and the state of New Hampshire and Vermont where they've passed this at the state level. So if you were to go to your IRS person and say, I want to be one of these, so far you can't. But it's the concept that fits in very well with Santa Fe Alliance and the Bally Network, other local efforts that we think it's going to grow. And something like a news entity is a good example because you're talking about something that has a public service. Getting news to people is incredibly valuable. And as we've seen a lot of newspapers go under lately, we need to worry about how people can get this product, news, and still make use of it. Something like The Daily Show would be nothing if it didn't have actual news behind it to make fun of.
Sure. So this is sort of the best of both worlds. It's a community enterprise that can have stockholders in it, but the profits, if any, are recycled into the business or used to spin off other related social enterprises as well, right?
Right, and that's just one example of
Yeah.
this whole trend that we've been talking about, the social business, how do you do well by doing good? And that was the reason for the workshop, which is thankful to Santa Fe Alliance and also to the New Mexico Community Loan Fund, is that we have lots of examples where you can do well at business. And so we want to talk to them and we want to bring examples in our community because there's a lot of people here with experience. And we want to give them a chance to show off the good stuff that they're doing and to get better business.
All right. Again, that workshop coming up tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, right after the radio show, 6 to 8 at the Santa Fe Complex. And where exactly is that located?
It's on Agua Fria, pretty close to downtown, pretty close to the big shopping center there and the bookstores and the restaurants.
On Agua Fria, down near the rail yard district.
Yes.
But on the Agua Fria side. Okay. For those of you who've been around here a long, long time, I think it was where the old food co-op was.
That's exactly where it is.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Vicki, we got a minute to wrap up from the Santa Fe Alliance and maybe encourage your members to give us a call.
Sure. Well, if you believe in community, I think KSFR is definitely the community radio station, and everything that you're doing on your show and so many other shows that are talking about sustainability for KSFR, I think it's really exciting. So if you're an Alliance member and you believe in what we all do in the community and how we all support each other, please pledge now.
All right. That number, 428-1393, 428-1393. You can give us a call right now if you're calling toll-free from, say, Placitas or wherever. Call us at 1-866-907-5737. Tomorrow on The Journey Home, Dr. Diane Dumanowski, as we continue to explore the end of the long summer, why we must remake our civilization to survive on a volatile Earth. And then Tim Voss, Executive Director of the Farmers Market, on what's growing in the rich valleys of northern New Mexico. Vicki, thanks for coming in today.
Great to be here as always.
All righty, Drew, good to see you again, too, and thanks.
Thanks. Keep doing good things.
All right, you too. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow after the news at 5. I'm Diego Mulligan. Have a great evening, and until then, enjoy the journey.